Wendy! You seriously need to just let me into your amazing mansion already.
Bree, are we really going to have this conversation again? How many times have we gone over this already? You do realize that the only person you can blame for Mom and Dad disinheriting you is you, right? Why do we have to go through this every single time we talk?
And just what does that have to do with anything at all that I'm talking about, huh?
I mean that I'm living with Mom and Dad, and they've decided that they don't want to share anything with you anymore. Even though you're my sister and their daughter, you would still be an unwelcome guest here. Don't you get that?
But it's been 8 whole years since I've left home. And it's only after I leave that you all move out and into that amazingly huge house. It isn't fair.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that a lot can change over 8 years.
Well, if so much has changed, then why am I still ostracized from everything the family does, huh?
The only person you should be asking for that answer is you. You steal your friend's husband and cheated with him in Mom and Dad's old house. Mom and Dad still haven't forgiven you for it, and quite frankly, neither have I. None of us even consider you a part of the family anymore.
But that's horrible! How can you do that when we are family?
Bree, let me try and break something down for you. The only reason that I haven't blocked you on everything yet is so that I can try and field your calls and save our parents the efforts of doing so. But the truth is that I want nothing more than to block your number right now. I don't think of you as my sister. Mom and Dad don't think of you as their daughter, and you need to get used to that.
No! How can you just expect me to accept something like that? I will find a way to live in that huge house, if it's the last thing I do. Do you understand me? Wendy, are you there? I know that you're home, thinking you're so much better than everyone else on Earth, just because you get to live in that huge mansion. But that's not going to last for much longer. How does it feel, knowing that soon you're not going to be able to live there anymore?
Bree, again? Seriously? Just what on earth could you possibly be talking about this time? Are you still trying to find a way to live here with us?
Of course I'm still trying. More than that, I'm succeeding. I did a lot of looking into just what you're up to these days, Wendy.
You looked into me? Okay then. Just what did you find out that's got you acting so high and mighty?
Well, I know that you're engaged to be married, right? And that your fiancé is some 38-year-old guy named Barry, right?
That's all correct.
So you're telling me that even a 40-something-year-old hag like you can back a younger man? We both know that to the average eye, the age difference might not seem like much, but getting any kind of younger man is a win for a woman.
Bree, literally, what are you even talking about?
I mean that, conversely, a man would naturally want a younger woman for himself. That's why I've gone out and stolen Barry from you.
Wait, stolen? As in... Bree, please tell me you're not saying what I think you're saying.
Well, I had to do something to find a way to live in that big house of yours. And I know that the only reason you moved in there was because you married Barry. And he suggested moving in with Mom and Dad in that big house.
Just what is your obsession with trying to live in a house built for at least a whole family to live in?
Well, when I stole my friend's husband all those years ago, I was planning on moving into this huge house. But then, it turns out that the house was actually owned by my friend and and her family. And so, that was never going to happen as long as with that old guy.
So then you're telling me that the whole reason you ruined your friendship and stole that man from your best friend was for a house? And now you've gone and done the same thing to your own sister?
Ding, ding, ding! You guessed it!
Okay, well, I don't know how else to say this, but you're not gonna be living in this house just by stealing Barry from me.
Please. I did my homework this time. You're not going to be able to try and confuse me now. I know that the house you're all living in now is signed for by Barry. And since I've gone and stolen him from you, that means that soon he's going to tell you that he can't marry you anymore. And then you'll all have to leave. And I bet you've had quite some time to accumulate things to fill up all that empty space in a house like that. It's not going to be easy moving out of there. I'll give you all until the end of the month. Go ahead and tell Mom and Dad about this too. Let them know that if they want to keep living in that big house, that they're going to have to put me back in their will. And apologize for the way they treated me the past 8 years. But as for you, Wendy, you're going right out to the streets where you'll have to find for yourself.
Bree, I really just don't get it. What happened to turn you into such a covetous, selfish, mean person?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, first of all, you know that both you and Barry are liable to be sued by me for your affair, right?
Of course I know that. But I also know that Barry's family is filthy, stinking rich. And that however you want from us is going to be nothing to him. I'm never going back to the way I was 8 years ago when I left the house drowning in debt. And just the clothes on my back.
If you don't want to end up like that again, then I don't see why you insist on engaging in these wild schemes of yours.
Ugh, I already told you that it's always been a dream of mine to live in a huge house like the one that you're in now. I'm not pulling any schemes. I'm just taking the most important steps to achieving my dreams. I worked hard over the past 8 years to pay off all my debt. Just to find out that you were living in the lap of luxury this whole time. Well, that isn't fair. We're sisters. Why do you get everything handed to you on a silver platter while I've had to work for all that I have now?
Are you really trying to accuse me of getting favorable treatment over you?
All I'm saying is that I did my research into you. And I know the only reason you and our parents are able to stay in a house like that is all thanks to Barry. So, now that I've stolen him from you, that means that I'll be the one getting to live there and not you.
I don't get it. You've come so far and been through so much, and yet it seems like you've still learned nothing. I mean, if you know that you can work that hard on your own merits, why not just find a regular job and buy your own place?
Because why would I when I've already found a man who'll give me what I want and who's head over heels in love with me? We're both a woman. We know that there's many different ways to get what we want. What's it matter how I get things as long as I get them?
And that's really the best excuse you can give for all that you're doing right now?
Excuses or not, the fact of the matter is that I've stolen your man, and there's nothing you can do about it. Did you really think you were finally going to be getting married? At 42 years old? You're way past your prime, and you're going to do old and lonely. Now remember, you only have until the end of the month before you need to be out of there. And tell Mom and Dad that the same goes for them, unless they don't agree to add me to their will.
I really just don't know what I'm going to do with you, Bree.
Hey, Wendy! You're already way over the time limit that I gave you to move out of there. I want to move out and start my new happy life with new rich husband. Why aren't you gone yet? I'll give you 3 more days. And then I want you out of there. Do you understand me? Oh, Wendy! Just get out of the house already! Don't you realize that you lost? Barry doesn't want you anymore. You don't have the right to be there. Get out of the house right now! Hey! Seriously! What is your deal? Why aren't you leaving yet? Are you seriously just going to squat there forever? I've already packed up all my things, and the only person standing in my way right now is you. So get out already! And I am beyond furious with you right now. You are seriously going to make me take drastic measures now. I have no choice but to force you out of the house. Wendy, I'm home. I'm standing right outside the front door. Now you march out here and give up the house. I don't care where you go to live out the rest of your sad, lonely life, but it will not be here.
I was wondering if you were really going to try and pull something like this after the 3 days were up.
Of course I would. I always follow through with my threats.
Bree, I'm afraid that the only person living a sad, lonely life right now is Barry.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, that we officially canceled our engagement about a month ago.
No, really. Well, I didn't know. But that doesn't change anything, so get out!
It changes everything. Someone already moved out, and that person was Barry.
You're not making any sense. Just tell me what you're trying to say.
Barry is currently living in a tiny little apartment about 20 minutes outside of downtown.
I still don't understand what you mean by that.
I guess I'll start from the beginning for you. It's true that this house did used to belong to Barry's family, and the deed for the house was in Barry's name, but 6 months ago, I became the deed holder.
But why? How did that happen?
Well, Barry's business was doing really poorly at the time, and he started getting bogged down with debt. Then things quickly turned even worse, and he had to declare for bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy? Are you kidding me?
I am not, but I actually own and manage my own business, which is quite large, if I may say so myself.
Wait, what?
So Barry, knowing this, talked to me and agreed to lease the house to me on the condition that when he pays me back, I return it to him. I got him out of a lot of financial trouble by doing that.
No, this can't be right. You're lying to me. Are you?
If you look up Barry's company online, I'm sure you can see plenty of stories about the bankruptcy.
Wait. Oh no, it's true!
Yep, told you so.
But what am I supposed to do? This is my last day in my apartment! I've already returned my key and everything. Where am I supposed to live?
I'm sure that Barry could find some room for you in his place.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I heard that he's renting with a building known for having some of the smallest apartments in the city, but I guess your options are that or homelessness.
But this isn't fair. I stole Barry from you fair and square. I was supposed to live in this big house, not you. It was my dream, and now it's all gone. Wendy, please pick up the phone. Are you really going to sue me after I've been through so much? I just paid off all my debts and feel like I can finally breathe again. Why are you instantly going to saddle me with more? I went to Barry to ask for help and he said that he didn't have anything for me. Please, I'm begging your help here. You're my older sister. You have to do something.
Sometimes you just save people when they have their mind set on something, even when it's completely wrong. But thanks to her stubbornness, Wendy made the same mistake of sleeping with the spouse of the person who owned the house she was trying to steal twice. I worry about my sister often, but I just can't pity her at all when she lands herself in the exact trouble she blames on everyone around her. It's true, I did sue her and Barry for their affair. Part of the fees charged to them also included the cancellation charges for my wedding plans with Barry. They both had to split the sum of around $100,000. I wondered if Bree had felt like her life was just set back another 8 years. Although I'm sure if she did it once, she could get herself out of debt again. I just hope that she learned her lesson this time.
Hey Katie, I won't be home until late tonight. Work needs me to stay and finish off some important reports in time for a meeting tomorrow. Sorry.
Wait, what? But we have my dad's will reading today at 5. Will you be able to make it to that?
No, sorry. I'm simply just way too busy to take any time off. My boss is already annoyed at me for the fact that I went to your dad's funeral. I can't afford to annoy him any more than I already have.
But what about the will?
You're gonna have to go by yourself, I'm afraid.
Seriously? You know how much my dad meant to me. I can't go to his will reading by myself. It'll crush me. He was my rock growing up. You know he was the one who raised me after my mom left us, so I can't do this alone. I can hardly stop myself from bursting into tears randomly throughout the day. There's no way that I'll be able to sit through this will without crying. I really need you with me for support, John.
Look, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. I'm needed here.
Surely, as your wife, I am more important than a job, right? I'm sure your boss will understand that I really need you here, just for today.
Get fired if I go. Do you want that? We'd have no money then. So, I don't know how you'd think we survive.
You won't be fired for coming to a will reading with me. I'm pretty sure that's actually against the law. You can get compassionate pay, you know.
Yeah, well, it still looks bad even if I would be leaving for compassionate reasons. My boss doesn't take too kindly to people missing work unless something truly devastating has happened and it's an emergency that they simply cannot get out of.
This is truly a devastating event, though. My dad has died.
Yeah, but he's not my dad, is he?
Fine. If that's how you want to be, then so be it. I'll just go to the reading myself.
Good, that's what I've been telling you to do. Maybe if you actually listened to me sometimes, we wouldn't end up in these kinds of arguments.
Whatever. Don't expect me back tonight. I'm going to spend the evening at my friend's place. I mean, she's been more considerate and comforting than you have in this whole situation. Oh, and don't think I didn't notice you constantly checking your phone the day of the funeral. Even through the service, you were doing it. How rude is that?
I had important business calls to answer. I'm sorry if not all of us can just stop working whenever we feel like it, but I do have to earn the money for us, you know?
Whatever. You didn't have to do it then. But I can't be bothered to care right now. I'm staying at my friend's. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Seriously? You're gonna be that petty? What about my dinner?
Excuse you?
My dinner? You know, that thing that should be waiting for me when I get back home from work after a long, hard day?
I know what dinner is, but how is it my responsibility to cook it for you? Especially at a time like this where I'm heartbroken at losing my dad?
Well, that's your job. As my wife, you need to do the cooking and cleaning and make sure that everything is how I want it.
What? Where on earth have you got that idea from? I'm not some 1930s housewife who does whatever you tell her to.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You're always so busy going off and being independent that you never have time to take care of the house or me. I work long and hard hours, and I think I deserve to have someone show me a little bit of pampering for everything I've done. I work for all of your money.
No, you really don't. I work for my money and I have done since I was 16 years old. That also means that you're not the only one who works hard, you know. I work just as hard as you do, and then I'm expected to come home and do the cleaning and the cooking and everything in between, whilst you're just sitting on your butt watching TV.
Well, that's just because everyone knows that men work harder than women. It's just expected of us, so we should be looked after by our wives when we come home.
Unbelievable. I really just can't deal with you right now. I'm going to go and hear whatever is in the will, and then I'm going to go and have an evening with my friend where we can reminisce about my dad. Please don't message me unless it's important.
Whatever. So, what did the lawyer say? What'd your dad leave us? Katie? Hello? Anyone there? It's kind of rude to ignore people, you know.
John, is something wrong? Why are you messaging me?
Huh? Well, why would anything be wrong? I just wanted to know how the meeting went with the lawyer.
I told you not to message me unless it was an emergency. I don't want to talk to you right now. And I really don't want to discuss the will at the moment. I'm trying to just have a nice evening with my friend. If you really wanted to know, you should have come to the meeting with me.
Oh, you're not still moaning about that, are you? Look, I was busy, so I couldn't. But that doesn't mean you can't tell me about it now. I mean, I know your dad was fairly well off, so he must have left us quite a bit of money. So, how much have we got?
Are you kidding me? You're seriously messaging me after ditching me during one of the most difficult times of my life? Just to ask if my dead dad has left me any money? I can't actually believe you right now.
Yeah, well, I'm only asking what everyone wants to know. The whole point of a funeral is to finally get the will at the end of it. I could really do with a little bit of money. There's a new car which I've had my eye on for a little while, and I'd love to get it.
Really? You want to spend the money my dad has left me in his will, my inheritance, on a car for yourself? How selfish can you get?
No, it wouldn't be just for me, obviously. You'd use it as well. It would just be something fun, which your dad would have loved as well, don't you think?
Well, I guess. I suppose it depends on what kind of car it is.
Oh, you'll love it. It's a real classic.
Really? Huh. Well, okay then. My dad has left me his company and all of his assets, along with a few $100,000 in cash.
What? He's left you all that?
Yeah. I mean, I am his only child, so it kind of makes sense that he would leave me his company to do what I want with it. I know it's not a massive business, but it earns a healthy living, so I could be quite well off with it.
Yeah, we definitely could. I mean, I could actually quit my job and live the luxury lifestyle I've always wanted to live.
Well, we'd have to see about that. We can't go spending money recklessly, as then we'd end up with nothing left. Besides, my dad left me this money in his company so that I could have a secure life and not have to worry about money. He wouldn't want me to squander it away.
We wouldn't be squandering it, simply enjoying some well-earned comforts and luxuries that we can finally afford. In fact, I might go and order that car right now. We finally got the money for it. I think I'll also look up how much a holiday would cost. I think I definitely deserve one after everything that I've had to put up with.
John, just wait a minute.
Katie, just chill for once, would you? Let me just have a bit of fun. You're always so boring and careful. It's really annoying. I finally have money, so I'm going to enjoy spending it on the finer things in life for a change.
It's not your money to spend. It's my inheritance.
As your husband, I automatically get it as well. What's yours is mine and all that. Being married is finally paid off for once.
It doesn't work like that with inheritance money, John. Only the recipient gets access to it, and they get to decide what to do with it.
No. The husband gets to decide what to do with it. That's me. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be celebrating this evening, and I've got some phone calls to make, so don't try and call me or anything. I probably won't be able to respond.
You're celebrating my dad dying?
No, not dying, just everything he left us after he died. It's not every day that you get something like this. We're quite lucky if you think about it. Some parents leave their children nothing.
I seriously can't believe you're celebrating my dad dying. What is wrong with you? Actually, don't bother answering that. I already know.
Yeah, whatever. See you later or something.
Hey, John. I just saw that you've looked at getting that car you were looking at. but looking on your laptop was quite interesting, I must say.
What are you doing on my personal laptop? That's an invasion of privacy.
Whoa, chill out. I get that your laptop is yours and everything, but as your wife, I should be okay in using it as well.
Well, you shouldn't be on it. You didn't even ask me.
Well, I'm getting the distinct idea that you've got something on this laptop that you don't want me to see. Is that right?
Huh? No, it's just that's my laptop. I have personal things on there.
You mean like all of your messages with your girlfriend, Charity? You can drop the act now. You're not fooling anyone, and you haven't been for a while now.
What do you mean?
Do you really think that I didn't know that you were cheating on me? I mean, come on. You didn't exactly try very hard to hide your tracks. You even basically told me not to message you the other day because you'd be celebrating my dad's death. The only reason you wouldn't respond to a text is if you were doing something you weren't supposed to. I also have friends, people who have seen you out and about with your new girlfriend. Did you honestly think that they wouldn't tell me about you cheating on me?
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore anyway. I was just gonna wait considering your dad just died, but I want a divorce.
A divorce? Seriously?
Yep.
You are seriously unbelievable. Look, just leave me alone from now on. Got it? We can talk about all of this when I get home in a couple of days.
Fine, but putting this talk off isn't gonna stop me from divorcing you.
Whatever.
So, you've had your couple of days. Are you finally ready to talk about our divorce?
Our divorce?
Did you miss the divorce papers right there on the table? Quick, sign those papers and send me Dad's money ASAP.
The divorce papers you signed earlier? They're already filed.
Huh?
I've already submitted the papers to my lawyers as you'd kindly signed them earlier.
How stupid can you get? That's exactly what I want.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Your dad has just died and left you thousands of dollars and even a company. I, being your husband, get half of everything you have, so I get to have half of all your money and I don't even have to lift a single finger to earn it. Oh, and if you hadn't guessed, the new car is for me and Charity, as if I would share something so cool and fun with you, the most miserable person on the planet. You'd have to be a moron to think I'd do that. It looks like everything is going exactly as I wanted it to.
Oh, wow. You sure had everything planned out, didn't you? How long have you been waiting to put this little scheme into action? Was it your idea, or did this Charity help you come up with it? Surely you couldn't have been smart enough to come up with something like this on your own.
Charity might have helped me come up with the idea, but I'm the one who perfected it. Once I have half your money, me and her can finally go and live a fun life like we've always wanted to. We might even be able to befriend some people in higher places. Who knows? I just know that my life will be 1,000 times better without you in it.
Yeah? I was just about to say the same thing, actually. There's just one teeny tiny flaw in your plan.
Oh yeah? What's that then? Because as far as I'm concerned, I got you snookered.
Yeah, you would have. If not for the fact that I don't have my inheritance yet.
Huh? What are you on about?
You know how my dad never liked you? He always said that you were no good for me. Well, turns out he thought you'd try and do something like this to me, so he made it a point to say that all of my inheritance will only be given to me after a holding period of 6 months, or if you left me, I could get it straight away. Thankfully, you decided to divorce me, which means I'm able to get all of my inheritance ASAP. Although I can't get it until we are fully divorced.
What?
Also, with all of the evidence that you've so helpfully given me, confirming that you cheated on me and even came up with a plan to scam me out of my money, any judge and jury will surely rule in my favor. It looks like you'll be the one who'll be paying me quite a lot in compensation for your unfaithfulness.
That can't be true. No way. That's not fair.
That's what happens when you cheat on your partner. But at least you and Charity will be able to forget about things for a while, whilst in your new car. That is, if you can afford it.
There's no way that I can pay for the car anymore. I was gonna use your dad's money. You need to give me the money for it. It's the least you can do.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't owe you anything. You were so horrible and cruel to me after my dad died. At no point did you try to comfort me or console me. You just snuck around behind my back with your girlfriend and tried to make me feel bad for not being a good wife.
Well, I didn't mean it.
That's such a pathetic excuse. No, I'm done with you. I'm just glad that you showed me your true colors before I wasted any more time on you. You'll never see me again, John, and you most definitely won't be seeing even a penny of my money.
Katie, wait, please, I love you.
Well, that sucks for you, because I don't love you. It's time I finally did what my dad said I should have years ago and find someone who actually appreciates me and loves me for me, not for what I can do for them. Goodbye and good riddance. After revealing to John that I knew all about his affair, I quickly started the divorce proceedings so that I could get rid of him as quickly as possible. Just like I thought, with all the evidence about his affair and attempted scam, the judge sided with me quite quickly. I received a lot of compensation from my ex-husband due to his behavior and the fact that he purposefully withheld affection from our relationship due to this other woman. After the divorce was finalized, I moved houses into something a little nicer. I also sold the company my dad left me, as I had no idea on how to run it and I didn't really want to, anyway. It sold for quite a lot of money, which I was able to add to my inheritance and put into a bank account for my pension. And thankfully, I don't have a lazy husband who expects me to do everything for him, trying to mooch off of me. I've also met a new man who I have been seeing for a little while now. He is kind and caring and actually cares about me and not the money I was left. I'm happy things worked out in the end. As for John, the last I heard was that his girlfriend had left him due to him not getting the inheritance money. He's since been single and forced to work long hours by his boss. If only he had the courage to stand up to him. Oh well. I guess he'll just have to deal with being told what to do his entire life, as he is simply too dumb to do something for himself about his situation.